Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin, and DK, the one, the only DK from DK's Musings. Coming out the basement, right, DK? We finally let you out the basement and in front of the paywall. So hopefully you guys enjoy the content for sure. But anyway, we're here to talk to you guys on a Tuesday night about our Baltimore Ravens, talk about the rest of the season and otherwise. But before we do, of course, we got to turn on the light or keep on the lights with our awesome partner and sponsor of this show, BetOnline. I'm sure some people are making some money this year. Glenn, what do they got going on in this back quarter of the season?
Certainly. Well, BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball, NHL, and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. Yeah, Jimbo, we're getting into the last quarter of the season, certainly the final stretch of the season, and we did gain some clarity over the Ravens bye week with exactly what that playoff picture is looking like. We had a bunch of teams mathematically finally eliminated from playoff contention, which certainly changes, the landscape of football, meaning that, there's teams that, guys may not play the rest of the year if they have a nagging injury that they would normally play through if there was some fruit or some light at the end of the tunnel. Without that, a lot of these guys are going to, kind of go off and might see some replacements. So it's a big week for really everyone in the league that's still competing for playoff contention, and certainly the Ravens are in there.
No, big time. This is a fun time of year in that, if you're a team that's in contention, you pay attention to other games more, you watch other matchups, you start looking at you start doing these hypotheticals and things like that. So of course we're going to get into that a little bit. And I think this is one of my favorite times of year from an NFL perspective. But really quickly, I know we're here to talk about the Ravens. How are you feeling about the Chiefs' historical run when it comes to point differential and being 12? This has never happened before, Glenn. Like, I know for a fact that, let me tell you guys what, I would be shattered, but Glenn Martin would be destroyed if he found out that an NFL was dirty in any sort of way. Like, the integrity of the game was compromised. If you want to see Glenn's heartbreak, and then cry. Like dipped in acid, you know what I mean? Like for everything would be terrible, right? But like, is it getting crazy with the offensive line penalties and stuff, man? Like, this is nuts.
I mean, if it was just a bunch of penalties, then it would certainly be more than just suspicious. But these sons of guns get lucky in every seemingly way possible. They block kicks when it matters most. Guys will have blunders on their own, drop balls, fumbles. And it's a head scratcher, Jimbo, because this clearly does not look like their best team, not even close. But yet, record-wise, it's the best they've ever been. They're 12-1. They're in line to win the AFC and be the number one seed, get a bye week and home field throughout. So yeah, it's crazy, Jim. Like, they should have at least 3 more losses on their resume. But hey, at the end of the day, you got to close the door. And my only worry is that, like, the Chiefs are like becoming, and I hate to say this, I don't want to give them any more credit than they already get, and they get enough of it. But like, are they becoming to the point where it's like teams, when they see they are about to lose or to beat them, that they get so damn nervous that they're about to topple the champs that they get completely uncharacteristic in how they play and collapse like a house of cards?
I hope that's not the case. I don't see the Ravens being a team that you could tally into that category. And I know that obviously recent history would say otherwise, but I think that the Ravens coaching staff and the players, more the coaching staff than the players, have an aura of like, we've been here before, and we deserve a seat at the table. Now the players are younger, right? This is a new regime. This is not the old guard that we're talking about that had been there before, right? But certainly, I don't like to, in my head, count the Ravens in there, but I see what you're saying. This is the only reason I bring this up, Glenn, and we don't spend a ton of time on this, but Chris Collinsworth literally spent like 3 minutes talking about, what's his name? It's Jawan, right? The right the right tackle.
Oh, yeah, they kept false starting every 5 seconds.
And how he found, what did he say? He found a loophole to gain an advantage. He found no loopholes. He's just committing a penalty.
Cheating. He's cheating.
Like he's just flat out cheating. Like that's
cheating.
there's no loophole here, dude. Like Ronnie
crazy.
Stanley got called for this 3 plays in a row. What on earth?
Dude, I would love to know the total number of alignment calls for the whole league, and then compare that to just the Ravens.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. Anyway, I know we're here to talk about the Baltimore Ravens, but we're
no,
talking
in
playoff
general,
scenarios.
Yeah, we're talking everybody.
And that's absolutely part of it. So I think with that being said, for the Baltimore Ravens, like I think one of us, I don't know if you have a playoff scenario like thingy in front of you. If not,
I have the standings. I just don't have the machine.
Do they have one up yet on NFL.com?
I have issues getting on into
No, that's okay. That's okay. Let me pop it up and see if there is. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that the number 1 seed is not a possibility at this
Well,
point.
there's 4 games left and they're up by 4. So the only way would be if we win out, they lose out, and then we'd have to win on a tiebreaker, which I don't think is possible. Yeah, because they're 5-0. So yeah, I don't think it's possible for us to take the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, also the likelihood of them losing out and us winning out is pretty unlikely as well.
Okay, I have something. I think that. Oh, go ahead. You can.
Rave Kingdom says Ben Cleveland. They will hear me. He's trying to scream and put it in enough caps that even the guys at the castle will hear. I see what you got there, Jim. Appreciate the super chat, Rave Kingdom. I don't know if you're gonna get lucky, but hey. Last time he said no, he said there will be changes. There was no changes. This time he said there will be no changes. So if backwards logic goes, then there will be changes this week. And Ben Cleveland might be the first in line. Although, who would you say is first in line to go in the game if they do make a change? Is it Voorhees or Cleveland?
I'm trying to figure out what DK just said. Did you say Voorhees, DK? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? I think it's Cleveland.
No. He said, let me find out what DK said.
And I'm going to say the other one. I can understand the Voorhees logic, right? Because he was already there.
Yeah.
I think, and then McCary hasn't been playing great.
How shocked would you be if they both came in? If they took both the guards out, replaced them both? How shocked would you be? Would you be blown away?
I would be pretty blown away.
Yeah, right. Me too.
But also excited for like the potential of it, right? Like I realized late in the season. But this is the thing with Lamar Jackson under center. I hesitate to say this, but how much worse can it get? You know what I mean? Like,
and if you're gonna try, if you're gonna experiment, if you will, in any game
now against a JV team,
coming off a bye against an NFC team that's struggling in the dumps, like if you're gonna take some chances, it's not gonna be next week against the Steelers. It's gonna be this week.
Yeah.
So this might be their last opportunity with the playoffs coming.
And this is my argument in favor of the possibility of, or the possibility of it being Cleveland. Not that I don't even know how I feel about them making a change between the two yet. I haven't really chewed on that too long, but because because McCary is a veteran, I think he has a bit of a longer leash than he's just free, not even on a leash at this point. Falele, right? Like apparently that's
no collar, nothing.
Nothing, dude. He's just a big old polar bear out there running around. No one's messing with him. They're like, screw it. You won. You take it. But so to that point, I mean, if in theory, dang it, Falele has a shorter leash than McCary, which is how I see it. That's how John would have it in his head. Then I think that Falele would get pulled quicker. That's my argument in contrary to DK's thought.
Okay. I like that. McCary certainly has more invested financially. Don's 5 gifted. And yeah, guys, make sure you check out if you're one of the lucky to get that gifted membership and certainly take advantage of all the good that it gives you. So appreciate it, Don, the legend that is Don C. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting week because if there was any opportunity to make any sweeping changes, whether that's personnel or scheme or whatever it might be,
right.
This is their last opportunity. You can't start experimenting any time after that. This is the last and only opportunity to make big sweeping changes. So it'll be kind of interesting to see, if that is the case. But before we get into the standings here, Jimbo, I know you have I know you have a calculator ready. I am curious about your take. John Harbaugh refused to elaborate any further after the statement on Deontay Johnson's suspension. And while players were asked and did speak a little bit more candidly about it, talked to Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers both said it's not a distraction. They're going to welcome him back with open arms when he does return, because not only is he suspended for the game, that includes this entire week of practice. So Deontay's not out there. They're saying it's not a distraction, kind of much ado about nothing in their eyes. But other fans are saying, they think a storm's brewing. He was clearly a little bit more agitated in his most recent press conference, was John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on this situation? Do you think, like, if you're a player and another player, because like they don't have like this, I mean, assumingly they don't have this crazy close relationship with Deontay Johnson,
right,
unless they have a history with him. But do you think players are more on the side of other players if they're disgruntled? Or do you think, I mean, look, all these guys who they asked have known John longer, have been in the trenches with him longer, been in battles with him longer. Do you think they side more with John, or do you think they side more with Deontay?
Oh, so if you're making me predict which side the team is
thinking, splintering could happen because of Deontay's.
So I don't. So to that question, I don't think splintering has happened because of Deontay. I don't think it could, because he's not a mainstay. He's not a guy. He's not a long-term guy here, right? So there's definitely that. And then also to your other point, I like to think that the team would favor, if there's a division between coach, front office, the Ravens, right, and Deontay, like there's two things that got to go through these players' heads, like who signs my paycheck, right? Yeah. Like when it comes to who am I siding with here, and who's gonna take me to the promised land, right? Because the promised land also helps with who's signing my paycheck. You know what I mean? So Lamar Jackson knows who signs his paycheck, and everybody knows who's taking the promised land. That's Lamar Jackson. So I like to think that the home front is all intact and okay. I don't know if Deontay's going to draw anyone to the dark side, right? Like he's not going to recruit any Death Eaters like Voldemort. And I think he'll be just fine. Okay. So I don't know. And then back to you, like, what do you think is the ultimate resolution here? Obviously, John just said, short, like you said, he was kind of tongue in cheek about it, said, there's no further comment. That's it, right? In his presser. What happens next?
Yeah, and it's the tough part because we don't really know much about Deontay. Like, we don't know a lot about any of these guys, but at least the players who have been here longer, you get a general sense for their personality and all that stuff. Not that we know any of them, of course, but with Deontay, it's like, I don't know. So I'm choosing to be optimistic and hopeful that he, says, you know what, fine. I'll take whatever opportunity is given to me. I'll make the most of it. I'll do my job to the best of my ability, and I'll let everyone else kind of do their jobs. I hope that's what he does. But if you just look at the track record, it's not great, right? Like the Steelers wanted nothing to do with him. Great organization. The Panthers, not a great organization, but literally gave him away for less than if they just would have kept him and put him on the bench. And now we see a dust up already in his brief time with the Ravens. So I don't find it incredibly likely that this is going to end with him, becoming a productive member of this team at some point in the season. But I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic that it will, because I do think he's got some talent. His talent would help the Ravens, and a good football team needs all the good players they can have. So I'll be optimistic, but I'm not going to hold my breath and expect things to go well.
No, I'm there with you. It's really going to be interesting to see how this thing shakes out. But at the end of the day, I don't know what it's worth on either side, right? Like, is it really worth it to you, Deontay? Like, just I don't know a better way to say this, but you could just fall in line.
Yeah.
Play ball. Like,
just do your job, like the Patriots say, right?
Like, just realize that your job is a game. And this is like, I know players would hate that I say this, but at the end of the day, such a blessing to play a child's game.
For sure.
Like, chill out, dude. You play a game for a living. You know what I mean? Like, just go out there and have fun and play ball.
And plus, just look at it like if anyone, imagine if every player on the team had this mindset, right? Like, imagine if the sixth corner was bitching every day that he didn't get more play at corner. Imagine if the third and fourth linebacker were like, why is it that does he have to have all the snaps? Why does Roquan have to be there the whole time? Like, imagine if every backup or lower, guy that's lower on the depth chart all had this. It would not be like it just wouldn't be cool. So the fact that this guy had that level of entitlement despite just getting here is pretty shocking. But
I was also pretty surprised by the mixed opinions in our comments, Glenn. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know if you were surprised or not by them.
I don't know if mixed is the right word. I still think there was vast majority that kind of were saying something similar to what we were, and then others. There was a small, I think, minority, a minority of people that said, you know what, you brought him here, he deserved, you brought him here for a reason, so play the guy. But you got to remember, they brought him here with zero risk, zero invest. Like, they just brought him here because they're like, hey, he's a talented player, and we need more talented guys. But they didn't bring him here to be the 1, the 2. I don't even think I'm not so sure they even brought him here to be the 3. So,
yeah. Well, the other thing too is that, like, he just got here. It's only been a few weeks. Like, just give it some time. Let things marinate a little bit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, anyway.
But look, we're not here to dwell too long on Deontay Johnson and the situation, with him. But I do want to, just mention really quickly, Jimbo, that for a team that for years dealt with, and I'm going to knock on some wood here, dealt with just an incredible amount of injuries, both, financially. Come on, Jimbo, we can say it. I can say it. I don't have any power. I can say it. The fact that there's 4 games left, and I just saw, outside of Sanusi Kane, it was a 100% participation at practice, including the return of Michael Pierce, who's a big addition to the center of that defense.
Big time.
Like, is it now safe to say that, I mean, can we just say, like, was it just simply bad luck run where they had those rash of injuries, or did the change of time of practice, moving to a mid-afternoon practice more like an early afternoon practice versus the early morning practice, when everyone else was doing it the other way, do you think this played any role, or have they just been luckier now than they were a few years back?
That's a really good question. I'm going to say half and half. I'm going to attribute half of it to, I don't know if it's just the time, but sorry.
Oh, the time and a new training staff.
That's part of it. Sorry. We are all recovering from RSV here. Pardon the voice. It was brutal. But anyway, so I'm going to say half and half. I think half of it is the training staff, the time. And the way that I'll put this is like the dedication to research and trying to push the edge.
Try something, right?
Right, because new things don't get adopted. Glenn, think about it. I learned this the other day. Cycling, like the U handlebars, I'm talking about all the cyclists use and things like that. Cyclists,
I bet they were picked on, weren't they?
Cyclists hated it until a triathlete tried it. And the cyclists, the purism behind the sport, this and that. And guess what? All of a sudden they saw his times. They're like, oh, okay. This makes sense, right? And then all of a sudden, you see every, incredible biker doing it, right? Like, but they're bashing this guy and, calling him a dirty biker and this, that, and the other.
Is Jimmy, is this what it would take to get the Rick Barry free throw method into the NBA? Do we need one big-time NBA player who stinks at free throws to say, you know what? I saw what he did, and I can shoot 80% if I just don't look cool while I do it. Is that what it would take, Jimbo?
Deontay Jordan could have been that guy.
DeAndre, yes.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yes.
He could have been that guy. Got Deontay on the mind.
My man over here going
Sorry,
through it.
I'm dying.
Ricola!
Seriously, no, I need a water in a second. But, to your point, I think, yes, part of it is the dedication to trying something different, like you said, and following the research, and then also just luck. I mean, it's so awesome. And this is why one of the things I'm excited about when we get this playoff machine and about our confidence going to the playoffs. Forget about the three, the offense, the defense, and the special teams, 3 different units. But the fact that our offensive line and our quarterback is healthy right now, today, is a rarity. Right? Now, there's other teams that have that, and they have the best offensive lines in the league. So we're not there, but we are one of the few teams, I'm sure, that isn't. I mean, look at the Bengals, look at the Cowboys. They both played last night, beat up on the offensive line, both of them, right?
Yep.
The Browns, bottom of the division, beat up at quarterback, right? Like the list goes on and on. A lot of teams you talked about are eliminated, not because they don't have talent on paper. A lot of it just has to do with guys' availability.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually something we could talk about too, is the teams that have been eliminated. Glenn, what do you think?
Yeah. Let's get into it. You want me to pull up the standings here?
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. While you do that, I'm gonna run upstairs and grab a water bottle.
Yes, sir. Oh, man, Jimbo coughing up a lung here. Let's get this guy a bottle of water. Holy smokes! All right, I'm going to throw it up now, and we can kind of look at it together because I think we did get a lot of clarity over the weekend. And look, as a Ravens fan, it didn't go how I was rooting. Like I was rooting every team I was rooting to lose, they all won. So it was not the best weekend for Ravens fans. However, at least we got some clarity, and it does look pretty positive as far as the chances to make the playoffs. Not that I don't think any Ravens fan thought that was really that much at risk, but at least good to know, even though they haven't clinched it, the likelihood it looks pretty high. So the Chiefs won. Jimmy kind of touched on another tough win for them, I should say. A tough loss for the Chargers, who they almost got them. Big loss for the Bills, Jimbo. It's funny because if you just looked at the headlines, you could have sworn the Bills won the game because of the 5-touchdown performance. And everyone's praising Josh Allen, but they did lose that game. Their defense stinks out loud, but they are 10-3, have clinched their division and are guaranteed to make the playoffs. The Steelers also rooted for them to lose over the weekend. The Browns could not get it done.
Nope.
They are now 10-3, and the big news for them is they had an injury pop up on the Friday practice before the game against the Browns, where they lost George Pickens, and he's already been ruled out for next week, with the assumption that they're trying everything they can to get him up and ready for the following game against the Ravens. But that could be a big potential loss. Imagine that team without George Pickens, a lot less scary, a lot less you got to worry about on the outside. Texans, 8-5, leaders of their division, and look to be entrenched in that, that fourth spot as the final division winner. And then right there, the Ravens, 8-5 in the fifth spot right now, followed by the Chargers and the Broncos, both of which that they have, the head-to-head matchup victory over and would have the tiebreaker if need be. But that's it right there. The top 7 are currently slated to make the playoffs, and the only 3 that can unseat any of them is a 6-7 Colts team, a 6-7 Dolphins team, and a 5-8. They're still hanging on for hope, Jimbo. The best they can do is 9-8, and they're hoping that that's going to be good enough. But only 3 teams left competing to try and unseat these. And the best chances are the Colts, who are a full 2 games back of the 7th seed, Jimbo.
Yeah, and to add some context to that, Glenn, as far as the 1 seed goes, I want to give percentages of the teams that are in the playoffs likelihood of getting the number 1 seed. Chiefs, of course, 78%, Bills 16%, Steelers 5%. Everyone else being Texans down to Broncos 4-7 is 1%. So Texans, Ravens, less than 1%, excuse me. And then Chargers and Broncos have 0 chance of getting in at the number 1 seed. So yeah, it's an interesting spot that we're in here, Glenn, because I still believe that we have a great opportunity to kind of jump the Steelers, because we talked about it last time. The end of their season is no joke. And certainly favors us. But I want to get into this calculator a little bit too. But before we do, Glenn, I also want to give a shout out to a guy you might know, turned 35 today, Craig Hanzelko. Craig turned 35 today.
Happy birthday, Craig.
Dude, I've officially known Craig for 29 years.
It's crazy.
29 years.
It also just means you're getting old.
Yeah, I met Craig when I was 5 years old. Think about it. When we met, we were combined 11 years old. Now we are combined 69 years old.
What number?
69, Glenn.
Come on, Jimbo. This is a family show.
I didn't say anything about it. I mean, I could have just rounded up to 70 to stay safe, right? But I'm not going to age myself any more than I am. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, by the way, so today is Craig's birthday?
Today is Craig's birthday. Shout out.
Well, you want to talk about coincidences? It's also another person's birthday, a legend, the mayor of Baltimore, of Edgewood,
Mr.
Bob
Pearney?
Pearney. Bob Pearney, December 10th. 80 years old today, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
80 years old. So as long your ages combined don't match the wisdom that Bob Pearney provides. So, yeah. So, yeah, we're taking him out to dinner tomorrow. But, yeah, shout out to Bob Pearney. But, all right, look. And shout out to Craig, too.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's get back to it here, Jimbo. Do you want me to pull out? Do you want to pull out the calculator?
Yeah,
you
is
want
that
me
cool?
to hide this? Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Let's see what all this is going to look like.
All right, so let me zoom in a little bit here.
Please do.
Tell me if this is better. Is that good?
Yep, just center it a little bit, but yeah.
Well, I figured we'd start with just
our
this
side. Yeah, we don't care about the other side.
Yeah, who gives a hoot?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, let me figure out how this thing works here. All right. So, oh boy, how do I do this?
Oh boy.
Okay, so these are at least the projected matchups that we know of. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. So week 14. Let's do this. So
let's pick some winners.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh well, week 14. It already.
So let's go to 15.
There you go.
We know the Ravens are going to win. I mean, come on.
Duh.
Now, who do you think is going to win this one? Because this is an important one.
I gotta think the Broncos are the better team, so I'm going to go with the Broncos, and they're at home. So
all right, so the Broncos stay there. Does this matter?
I don't think it matters.
I'd say I think they win.
Detroit, because I think they have the better team,
and they're at home. Do you think that the Chargers win, bounce back, and beat the Bucs?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's another important one. Let's see. Browns, Chiefs. We got to take the Chiefs, right?
Yeah. Chiefs, Bengals. They're going to beat the Titans.
Where are you at here? Yeah. Now, what about these two here?
Oh, that's a good one. That's probably the game of the week right there. That's the one I'm most interested to see.
Outside of the Ravens game, obviously.
I'm going to go with the road team. I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one.
Okay. So they stay. Okay. So with those wins, nothing has changed, correct? I don't see anything changing.
As long as you don't have to hit like some button.
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Now,
right, let's say because it's a close game. Let's say if the Texans win that game, even though I do think the Dolphins are going to win that game.
Okay, still nothing has changed.
Okay, so nothing would change either way. Okay,
right. So let's go to week 16. Now that we've got that up to date.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. Does this take it? Does this? No, this keeps our progress. Okay. All right, we still got the Dolphins as the winner. All right, cool. Okay, Texans, Chiefs. Ooh.
See, the question is, do the Chiefs have anything much left to play for? I guess they will if the Bills win. So let's go Chiefs because they're going to beat the Texans.
And then here, this is a good game too.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going the Chargers unless you think otherwise.
I could see it going anyway, but sure, we'll take the Chargers.
All right, see you there. We got some action.
Uh-oh.
I know. All right, let's see here. Ravens, Steelers. Glenn, I'll let you pick this one.
Oh, God. You know what? That was a real dirtbag move, wasn't it? Holy. I'm going to pick the Ravens because they're at home, and they're going to split. And I'm not so sure about Pickens, even if he's out there. What's level he's out?
What's he going to be?
The question is this one. The big one is, who wins the Buffalo game?
Where's stop it.
Well, all I'm saying is just for seeding purposes. I think they're going to go back up to the 2 seed. So, boom. Now it changes things.
No, hold on, though. What about, isn't there another one that's well, this kind of matters, right? The Dolphins still have a chance.
Yeah, and at that point, what type of team is San Fran putting out?
Right,
there? They're in trouble.
Yeah, I say the Dolphins win, just because they got more to play for, right?
Yeah.
Or what's your take?
I think you're right. I look, the Dolphins are crazy talented. They just had so many injuries that it made it look like their record is trash and their ratings are trash. But they also have Tua, who can't win the big game, Jim.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, then you know what? This would be a first win against a playoff team, right?
Yeah, you know what? Let's keep the Dolphins as the winner. Because I just think the Niners are in a bad place injury-wise.
They are. And then this one also matters because the Bengals have a possibility, right? Albeit minute. I think
they're going to destroy.
They're at home, right?
Yeah, they should destroy them.
And then here, the Colts might hang in there. What do you think?
I think the Colts will win, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let's go down here real quick. Okay. All right.
So it's still looking like the most likely opponent as it stands. And look, we could be wrong about all these. It could be complete opposite. But as it stands, it looks like the Oh, that collision course in week 17 on Christmas Day.
Oh, there's
You want
no
to talk
way.
about?
Yeah.
There's no way. What, we're losing?
Yeah, no way we're losing this game. I have zero fear of the Texans this year.
I mean, they're a talented team, but they've underperformed this year, and CJ Stroud has looked worse than expected. He's missed throws, the uncharacteristic. But man, Joe Mixon's really good. Nico Collins is really freaking good.
I'm
And he's
concerned
back.
about Joe Mixon. We've seen him so many times.
I know,
but
Jimbo,
Nico is legit. So I got to give you that. But before we even talk about that, the one I just realized to the left, look at this one. In Pittsburgh.
Oh, and that could have. I mean, look, if they all went out, it doesn't matter. But if the Chiefs were to take a fall to one of those earlier matchups, then the Pittsburgh Steelers could realistically take first.
Yeah. Not in our projection right now, but you're right. All they need to do is stub their toe once. Who wins this one? Because this matters for the Ravens too. See,
I think the Steelers win that game. I hate to say it, but
yeah,
I don't, because I don't want to root for the Steelers.
And
Chiefs either.
The Ravens win this one, right?
Pitt versus Philly. Oh, we didn't pick the winner against the Pitt in the Pitt Philly game this weekend.
Let's see, back to week 15.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? Did I miss it?
Right there. Yeah, right in the middle, at the bottom.
Yeah.
Good point. Thanks for that.
To me, Glenn, I go home team because I think it's kind of a.
How do you not pick the Eagles, even though they have all this drama? Brandon Graham airing their dirty laundry blew my mind that he said all that. But I still think, I mean, they've won 8 in a row. I mean, they're still playing well, even though they have personality issues. So I'm going to say the Eagles win that game.
Yeah, I agree with
you.
Until
they lose.
Yeah, and I think them being at home really matters there. Okay, so let's see. There was another one.
Us to win every game. Have we picked us to win every game?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that a problem?
Well,
is that a problem?
I mean, it's not if you're a Ravens fan.
Okay, so yeah, obviously we're going to beat the Giants.
Yeah.
And then where's
the
biggest
the scariest game to me is the Steelers game.
The Steelers game, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But as far, there's a few other ones here. Oh, like this one is big.
Yeah.
Broncos, Bengals. Ooh. And dude, I'm going with the Bengals. Are you in agreement?
I think I would pick I think I might pick the Broncos in that one here.
And
here's why. Because their defense, Cincinnati's defense is so god awful.
So bad.
And the Denver Broncos have one of, if not the best defense in football. So,
and especially against the pass, which they highly depend on. Them being, I think
they're going to slow them down a little bit offensively, and I have no confidence that the Cincinnati defense can keep pace.
This is the only reason I'll say that's fine. We'll take the Broncos. The only thing I'll say in contrary to what you're saying is, I feel like Joe is the vet in this matchup. It's late in the season. Like, this is the type of game that I think. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That a guy like him would
just to lose.
Yeah, but I'll take the Broncos. We can ride like that. That's fine with me. Let's see. This obviously matters because they're still in the playoff. I think they win, right? Even if they're in New England. Mm-hmm. I think we'll give the Colts the win. This is a fun one too.
Yeah, it just really depends on who's out there for the Browns. But if they have a full healthy team, yeah, it could be the spoilers that keep the Dolphins.
Make a pick. Make a pick.
Not out. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins.
Picking the Dolphins. Yeah. Okay, man, this would have been a fun matchup if
if it mattered. Well, it might matter for seeding purpose. Oh, no, never mind.
Well, and if they were healthy.
Yeah, I don't even know if the Niners are gonna make the playoffs, bro.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean? If they would had a full roster going in, that would have been a fun game.
Is there anyone? By the way, Quan says that Oweh gets 2 sacks this week, and you know what that means.
I do.
Oh yeah, it's not a Whopper; it's a Baconator. That's right.
I know what it means. My goodness.
Jimbo, by the way, I was at a sporting goods store yesterday, and I saw the freaking Peloton I want, bro. They're so expensive. But every time I've been trying to exercise lately, I've had issues. I tried to go out, had a whole thing planned to exercise. I go out, all I smell is like smoke in the air the whole time. So I'm like, oh, it'll go away. It'll something fade. I went way far away from my house. Smoke. All I'm breathing in while I'm trying to breathe heavy is smoke. I don't know what it is. So I cut my workout shirt because I'm like, what the hell am I breathing in? We've had issues with APG burning. I don't know what the hell APG is burning. It's floating in the. I don't want to be around it. And now the weather's turning to shit, Jimbo, which makes it really hard to exercise when you want to do cardio, when you don't have anything inside and you have to rely on outside. Am I going to have to turn into a mall walker and power walk past these old folks?
Dude, all I'm saying is that I'm a Peloton warrior in the winter, dude. I do like a run outside once or twice a week. that's what. Yeah,
I saw yours there. You had that one.
Yeah, dude.
And it had 2 bike Pelotons, one with a bigger screen and one with it. But yeah, they're like 1,400. Yeah. Anyway,
dude, just Facebook Marketplace, baby. A lot of
true.
people that buy them with aspirations and never use them.
That's true.
Just saying.
Might be able to get it half price or something.
Let's
Yeah, because
go.
I got to do something.
There you go. So get yourself something for Christmas.
Yeah, right, Jimbo. I don't buy myself anything, seemingly ever. Oh, nice. DK coming through in the clutch.
What happened? What happened? I can hook you up.
Yeah, he's a legend, bro.
All right.
You know
DK's got some back channel connections. Thanks for letting me know, DK. I've only been talking about it for like 4 years. Glenn brings it up one
Hey,
time.
Jimbo, don't pee in my Cheerios, okay? You stay out of this. It's between me and DK.
I'll never forget the first time I saw your son when I turned on the treadmill and he was standing still. He was standing on it. I think it was his first time like on a treadmill, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, just like his eyes got so big because he was standing still and he's looking at me like, help me. You know what I mean? He's just like going backwards. And I'm like, no, walk. And he's like, oh, okay. And he got it. But like, it was funny.
Oh, look at this. Lou is currently riding a stationary bike while watching. So look at that.
Let's go, dude.
Shout
out to Lou, dude. Let's go, bro. Hey,
Dang,
we should all start a GoFundMe to get Glenn a Peloton, dude.
Yes, because like DK said, I'm more needy. Okay, I'm more needy. I'm the needy one. Okay, don't try and infringe on my needs here. Look, I see somebody moved to California. Yeah. I hear the weather's pretty nice there. I hear it's pretty nice.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good luck living in a shoe.
Yeah.
I would be there right now if I didn't have to sacrifice everything, including the shirt off my back. Yeah. Trust me. Let's see. Okay, so Glenn. Are we missing any AFC ones here that we need to before we get to the last week of the league of the season? I mean,
I don't see any meaningful misses there.
All right, and everything has stayed still. I think the only thing that swapped were 6 and 7 in this. I think they swapped. All right, so do Texans win last game of the season?
Does it matter?
Okay. Look, this is an interesting one.
Oh,
but they won't have anything to play for.
Yeah, I think the Broncos win because of that. I think they're going to bench every one of their starters.
All right, we'll give the Colts the win just to keep it interesting.
Okay.
We'll give the Chargers the win. Let's go. Ravens, Browns.
It's got to be the Ravens.
Got to be, right?
Although I will say they're going to be freaking charged up for that game to be spoiled.
Yeah, but if we don't win that game, what are we doing here?
You know what? Maryland and Texas makes a good point, Jimbo. You need to start training for that Baconator. Start with the junior bacon. Get yourself started.
Get the stomach lining all geared up.
No, I don't wear a leotard riding. No leotard.
Should.
Although, see, I was about to say something that's really not appropriate on here. But let's just say, when you bike, okay? Oh, man. Look, as you get older, there's new challenges that you have to deal with, okay? Because
gravity? Is that what you're
Gravity changes things, and stuff have to pick a side of the seat. Okay? It can't.
Dude, I know. Finish, but I know exactly where you're going. And I have the solution.
Is there certain clothing that I need to purchase?
Well, let me tell you what. I didn't understand this as a child, Glenn. My dad, believe it or not, used to be a big biker. Okay. Used to bike into White Marsh where he would pick up they had like a bus for his job that would like bring him into the city. So he'd bike into White Marsh every day. It's a decent ride, right?
It's 8 miles up 95. Yeah.
Dude, hole in the middle of the seat. I never understood it, Glenn, but there's a hole. There's a bike with a hole in the middle of the seat. That's all I'm saying, dude, for the old bird's nest. Man. You know what I mean?
You know what I need? I need a seat. Because you know how the seat is. It's like it's wider at the back, and then it gets really skinny and narrow. I just need a seat that has the big wide part, and then just cut off this part in the front.
Just let it.
I don't need it.
Let them hang.
Just let them just. You know. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is just things you realize you encounter as you get older. I didn't have this issue as a younger man. I didn't even think about this as a problem.
Just don't get a cat, okay? Just swipe it.
Oh.
Just don't get a cat,
Come on
dude.
now. Don't do it. Don't do
Oh.
it. But yeah, so this is just challenges I'm learning to get, and it helps me to talk about my issues, okay?
Yeah, I get it. I get it completely.
Thank you guys for letting me divulge that unnecessary information that you probably didn't want to hear. And sorry about that if you're eating. Yeah, pick all the teams that have that would make things interesting.
Yeah,
of course,
for sure.
We're not.
Now, what about
these...
this one, Glenn?
Ooh,
because that's a fun one, right?
Oh, that's interesting. Is there any? I'm trying to think of because the most
let's do this. What happens if the Bengals win? They're still not in
because they would need a loss from the Chargers, Broncos, Colts, and Dolphins at some point. I don't think we gave them enough losses. What would it take? Who do you think the most likely of 5, 6, and 7? So the Ravens, the Chargers, and the Broncos. Who of those three do you find the most likely to be replaced by one of the three behind them?
The Broncos. Who'd you say? The Broncos, the Ravens, and the Chargers?
Yep.
I think to me, it's the Broncos.
And the funny thing is that you say that is they're on a 3-game win streak, and the other two teams have lost their last game.
Yeah, so, and I guess the reason I say that is because I have the least amount of faith in their quarterback. Not because he hasn't shown ability. He's just the youngest.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, man. I mean, isn't that crazy?
Jaden Daniels is losing that every week. You know what I mean? But Jaden Daniels also has 2 Hail Marys at the end of games that won him games that skewed his, results, his number. But anyway, we're not here to talk. That's why I don't run anymore. Kept tripping. That is too good.
There's a solution for that too, MD and TX.
Yeah, learn to jump rope. Double Dutch, anyone? Oh man, this is getting off the rails here, Jimbo. It's going completely.
Wait, you want to know a good one, by the way?
Oh, Katie knows about my problem. She's heard me complain about it in real time. I'm venting to her, who's biking next to me. Go ahead. Sorry, Jimbo.
No, I was just gonna say. Speaking of which, there was a guy just won Leadville this year, broke a record. That's a 100-mile race in Leadville in Colorado. It's like 13,000 feet. It's a coveted 100-mile ultra. He just broke the record by 16 minutes, I think. I was listening to this guy talk. He almost, because this, and dude, think about this. This was his first 100-mile race. Broke a ridiculous record in the most coveted 100-mile race, one of them in the world, right?
Where is this at? In Colorado?
In Colorado.
The elevation is.
Yeah. Yeah. When you go up a mountain, back down a mountain. I mean, it's just a wild race. And just the overall elevation, I think you start at 10,000. You go up to 13,000. Anyway, Chafe almost caused him some serious damage to the boy.
Oh, no.
Had to go to the hospital.
Dang, because he just ran through the chafing.
Ran through it. Right through it. And he's cooking. We're talking like 6-minute miles. I mean, he's for
100 miles.
100 miles. Yeah. I mean, he's cooking.
What was his time? Do you know it?
Yeah, I can give you his time.
That is insane, bro. I mean, I am just up.
15 hours, 26 minutes, and 34 seconds.
That is insane. If the zombies ever do come back, that guy's fine. I mean, he's just going to outrun them all. I mean,
yeah.
The zombies will get tired.
He's making some real life decisions, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope he didn't.
No, he's okay. I heard him talk. I heard him talk about it because some news outlets are making fun of him. He was like, "I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry, it's fully healed."
Yeah. That is. That's a risky move there, but paid off. Glad he didn't have any long-term damage. But Jimbo, are you willing to? At this point, 2 games back of the Steelers, 1 game left as a head-to-head matchup. Are you willing to relinquish the division yet?
No. So let's really quickly go through this and pick where Pittsburgh. Oh no! See, we already have them jumped in our projection.
All right.
Here.
Oh, because we had them losing.
Because we have them losing to Philly
and losing to Kansas City. Or no, I had them beating Kansas City. I think.
Let's see. Where else do we have the Steelers losing?
Oh, us.
Oh, and to us, yeah.
Okay. And that's all it would take if we went out.
If we went
would
out.
pass them.
Now,
Okay.
let's see if we lose a game. Say we lose to the Texans, just to make things spicy.
Okay.
We still get the division.
Really?
Yeah. So now let's do this.
No, hold on. That's because you picked them. Did you pick the Steelers to win in week 18? No, you picked the Bengals. That's why. So let's say the Steelers beat the Bengals.
And let's say we lose to the let's
we lose it.
Here we go. Yeah. You're right. Yep.
Okay. So there is an avenue, obviously, that we just showed that the Ravens still could take the division, and then that totally shakes things up and potentially gets the Ravens a home playoff game, which actually it would guarantee us a home playoff game in the first round.
Now let me make sure I understand this correctly. We have them losing as of right now. We have them losing to the Eagles. This is with us winning out. Let me double check and make sure us winning out. Okay. And
of course we picked us to win out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think we'll be betting favorites in every game. Maybe. I mean, I don't know how close it's going to be with the Steelers.
No, we're the home team, so we'll be the betting favorite. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure. So, with that being said, I don't think it's, crazy homerish of us to do that, but let me see the Steelers real quickly. We picked them to lose against the Eagles. And what if they win out after that? So we said they would beat the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Or no, they would lose to us. So we're picking them to lose too. Now let's say they beat the Eagles.
Okay.
I think they maintain, and we beat them here. Mm-hmm. And then they beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Then pick them. Beat them.
And then they beat the Bengals. So they would maintain the division.
They have to win at least 2 games for the Ravens to even have a chance if they win out.
You mean lose 2 games?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
They have to lose 2 games. Oh,
and we have to win out. Oh, there we go. Is that the peace sign that does that?
That is.
Look at that. What's the thumbs? Oh, it just does a. Hey.
Yeah, and then this is my favorite one, though. Wait.
Dang.
Like
that's what Jimmy was doing earlier, trying to rain on my Peloton hookup, bro. That's exactly what he was doing. Kevin Johnson says he's been a fan since '99. Never been more excited. Let's bleep and go. It really never been more excited. Okay. All right. I don't like it. Have you?
It's an exciting time of year.
It is an exciting time. And it's definitely different this year because it's a team led by its offense, even though the defense, as DK pointed out, has made an incredible turnaround by making one personnel change. Now, we don't know exactly how deep they've made changes to the scheme and communication, and maybe they've kind of simplified things. I don't know. But the biggest change we can see is the cutting of Eddie Jackson, benching of Marcus Williams, and replacing him with Darius Washington. So maybe that's why he's most excited, because this is like more of an offensive-driven team than as opposed to the defensive-driven teams we've had in the past. But I don't know if I'm more excited than ever, but I'm pretty pumped. I think we have a chance. I tell you what, this is the most vulnerable. Like, is there a team in the AFC where you go, man, we can't mess with them? Like,
right? No.
Like, it's the Chiefs until we beat them in my mind, but the Chiefs are the weakest they've ever looked, even though the record is the best. So I get it, like, from that standpoint, but like, because the Bills, I mean, we already destroyed them.
Right.
Have no fear, like you said, of the Texans. Already beat the Chargers, already beat the Broncos. So it's just the Steelers and the Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only 2 that we have to kind of figure out. But appreciate it, Kevin.
Yep. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. But Glenn, I think that might be it for us tonight, dude.
Yeah, I think that's it. Now, guys, I'm gonna be jumping on with Sip to Tally, Coach Evans on Sip to Tally tomorrow night. I think at 8:30 I'm scheduled to go on there. So appreciate if you guys come on over, check out Sip to Tally's page, and certainly give us a like, and I'll see you in the comments section. I think I can see the comments as a guest. I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
I can still see the comment. And of course, we'll be back with our game preview for this weekend's matchup against the Giants later on this week, and we'll get you all set for all the kind of players to watch, who's playing, who's not, the interesting matchup, our keys to the game, and all that good stuff. Yes, I am in the fantasy playoffs. Yes, that starts this week. I have got I got a tough match. I got to say, Jimbo,
oh boy,
last week I had a tough call. I didn't need to win. I already clinched. And I could have allowed my brother-in-law to win, which is what he needed to get into the playoffs. I put up the highest score anyone's put up all week. Oh,
yeah.
And the only reason I didn't bench guys, because I could have benched guys, and people might have been like,
Sure.
what are you doing? You let this guy in. I'm like, you play your team, I'll play my team. Get off my lawn. But I saw the team. Joey was already mathematically eliminated. Done in 12th spot. He's still making moves. And he's playing.
Of course he is.
Well, look, he's playing the guy in the 8th spot, who's also a very good friend of his, and that guy needed to win. He could have laid down and let that guy win. Now, the guy won anyway. But he made moves and transactions, set his chart. And I said, you know what? If he's still making moves, completely eliminated, how could I
Right.
So, no, I did what was right. I tried to win. I did win, and I put up the highest score that anyone's put up all year. I started Sam Darnold. Anyone see what Sam Darnold did? He went crazy for your boy. He went absolutely crazy. So it's Sam Darnold's fault more than it's mine.
Blame Sam Darnold. Oh man. Well, look, good luck in the playoffs. Hoping for the best, hoping for a good turnout. And we'll be back this week, of course, to preview the upcoming Giants game. We'll get more into Justin Tucker. We didn't talk about that a lot tonight.
Yeah.
And then give you guys a bit more of an in-depth look at the matchup. But that's it for us tonight, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, you know what, Glenn? I got one more thing I wanted to say, actually. Sorry.
What's up?
I blame Spirit Airlines for the reason we are now 1-2. Since 3 weeks, in the past 3 weeks, we're 1-2, right? Aren't we, DK? We're 1-2. Oh, we don't have 2 losses in the past, not 3 weeks, but the last 3 games. No? Anyway, we've taken 2 losses, whatever that span of time is, since they took down, if you guys know where this is, on 83, getting on 83 northbound, when 83, you enter 83, it's President Street, and then it turns into 83, and you're going northbound. There on the left-hand side, there was a big poster of Lamar Jackson, a Gatorade poster. They took it down. They put up some stupid Spirit Airlines thing, and we've taken on 2 losses since then. Why would anyone, can you do anything right, Mayor? Leave Lamar Jackson's face.
We have lost 2 out of the last 3. You are right.
Right. Leave his face up in the city, right? Like, at least do that.
Because that shows a lack of confidence in our team. And they're just trying to move on. No. Yeah. Leave it up.
That's right.
I agree with you, Jim. That's BS. But look, that's it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you later the week.